This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You're greatly appreciated. Come on in, make yourself at home. You're greatly appreciated. This week takes me back to Goodwill, and they've actually, since I made this video, lowered their price a couple dollars on their Blu-rays. They were $6.18. I think they dropped them down to $4.18. Their DVDs are still $3.18 though, but anyhow, it's neither here nor there. So I guess we're getting a little pushback on the pricing though. But I was able to find a actual Kino Lorber at Goodwill. Having out of print Mill Creek, got my 3D pick for the week. I have some classic comedy for my classic picks. I have some bangers in here. But before I get into what I picked up, not only do I collect movies, yes, one of these weird, wild individuals, I actually watch them. And on a weekly basis, I like to share some of the things I've watched, either streaming on the Fire Stick, physical media, or live in the theater with my family. And I'm going to kick it off with some physical media. My first pick is a 2010 adventure, drama, romance, science fiction thriller, Monsters. This was directed and written, and also the cinematography done by Gareth Edwards. It's produced by Nick Love. This stars Scoot McNairy, Whitney Abbey, Mario Zuniga Benavides, Annalee Jeffries, and Justin Hall. The plot behind this: 6 years ago, NASA discovers the possibility of alien life within our solar system. A probe was launched to collect samples, but crashed upon a re-entry over Central America. Soon after, new life forms began to appear, and half of Mexico was quarantined as an infected zone. Today, the American and Mexican military still struggle to obtain the creatures, while a journalist agrees to escort a shaken tourist through the infected zone in Mexico to the safety of the U.S. border. And this is actually my second time watching this. First time I watched it, I was expecting more of a monster movie, a science fiction monster movie, but it's more about the actual travel of this photographer escorting this young lady across the border to U.S. So it's more of a romance kind of adventure story that tells more about the actual travels from crossing the Mexican border to the U.S., more so than a monster movie. The monster movie is kind of like an afterthought, in my opinion. So it's more romance adventure science fiction than science fiction romance adventure, if you get what I'm saying. So, but second time watching it, I took it in a different life, and it's not a bad movie. It's an interesting movie though. So if you like that, and again, the cinematography, I think, focused on the plight of crossing the border. So if you take it with that perspective, I think you'll enjoy the movie a little bit more. My next pick is a 1990 action comedy crime movie, Men at Work. And I didn't realize this till actually doing this video. This is directed and written by Emilio Estevez, produced by Moshe Diamant. This stars Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, Leslie Hope, Keith Edwards, Dean Cameron. The plot behind this: two garbage men find the body of a city councilman in the trash can on their route. With help of a supervisor, the duo must solve the case and find the man's killer while hiding the body from the corpse. And this is silly, early 1990s, late 80s comedy. What I really enjoyed is watching the interaction between Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez, and being brothers, and they really seem like they really enjoy moving together, doing this movie together. And they've done other movies together though, but you can definitely see the chemistry between the two. And the one thing I kept focusing on is just like how both of them look like their father, but they don't kind of look like each other. I thought that was interesting though. But it's funny watching them together. It's a cute comedy, and it's just fun, early 19s silly crime comedy. So if you like Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen, you like them together, definitely check out Men at Work if you've never seen this before. My next pick is a 2015 drama history thriller war film, Bridge of Spies. This was directed by Steven Spielberg, produced by Christopher Fisher, and written by Matt Charman. This stars Tom Hanks, Mark Rylance, Dominic Lombardozzi, Victor Verhaeghe, Mark Fichera, Brian Hutchison. The plot behind this: during the Cold War, the Soviet Union captures U.S. pilot Francis Gary Powers after shooting down the U-2 spy plane. Sentenced to 10 years in prison, Powers' only hope is New York's lawyer James Donovan, recruited by a CIA operative to negotiate his release. Donovan boards a plane to Berlin, hoping to win the young man's freedom through a prisoner exchange. If all goes well, the Russian would get Rudolph Abel, the convicted spy who Donovan defended in court. And excellent film. If you like crime thrillers with a historical background, great film. Tom Hanks, as usual, just killed it as the attorney, and it was just really interesting, again, because this is based on a real life story. The position that they put Tom Hanks, Jonathan Donovan character in, essentially he was faced with trying to do the right thing by defending a Russian or alleged Russian spy in America, but facing the backlash of Americans who at that time, that was like a huge no-no, siding with the Russians. So great storytelling. It's Steven Spielberg. I'm surprised it's a Disney movie though, but there's not a lot of violence in there though, but it's perceived violence because it's Disney though, but excellent storytelling, excellent job, great ending. Again, so it's well paced. So if you're expecting a little action, it's not going to be that. It's more suspense and in a thriller type atmosphere. So if you like that type of movie, if you love Tom Hanks, definitely check out Bridge of Spies. First time watching it. My last pick, I actually watched streaming. This is a 2025 American dystopian survival thriller film, The Long Walk. This is directed by Francis Lawrence, screenplay by J.T. Moeller, based on a story by Stephen King, which he wrote, I believe, when he was in high school, produced by Roy Lee. This stars Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Johnson, J-O-N-S-S-O-N, Johnson, Garrett Waring, Tut Nayut, Charlie Plummer, Ben Wang, Roman Griffin Davis. The plot behind this: in an alternate 20th century, the United States is a totalitarian military regime following a devastating war. The regime has established an annual event, the Long Walk, which aims to inspire patriotism and work ethic among the destitute. As the country is in the grips of severe economic depression, 50 teenage boys, one from each state, are chosen randomly, given water and rations, and must walk hundreds of miles nonstop while escorted by armed soldiers who also broadcast the event. Those who fall below 3 miles per hour or stop walking receive up to 3 warnings before they're executed. Very interesting story. It kind of gives me trying to think of the game, Hunger Games. Kind of gives me that Hunger Games type of vibe. And the timing of this movie is very interesting, since we seem to be going in this country kind of through this kind of militaristic type of environment with masked agents kind of abducting people. So interesting movie. It's not fast paced, but the story keeps you engaged because every person on the walk has their own story. They kind of have their own rationale between why they signed up for the walk and why they're doing the walk. And what's interesting, I probably forgot to mention this, one of the actors also was Mark Hamill from Star Wars, Luke Skywalker. Didn't realize he was in the movie till actually did this video, because he looks so different in this movie. So I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen the movie, but just keep a lookout for Mark Hamill. Once you realize he's in the movie, not too hard to figure out who he plays though, but very interesting movie. It's very cerebral. It's a thought-provoking movie. Make you thinking of what patriotism really is and these individuals' reasons for actually taking this pretty much life-ending endeavor. So very interesting movie. Great Stephen King representation. So if you like that, definitely check out The Long Walk. And if you're wondering who this little black cat is, make a long story short, my late mother-in-law had a lot of animals. She was an animal lover, and before she passed in her will, she wanted to make sure that all of the animals were taken care of before property was sold. So this is one of the last animals left. This is Pearl. She's 18 years old. She doesn't get along with other cats, so we kind of have her partitioned off from the other cats. So everyone say hello to Pearl. I like to call her Mini Pearl. Now, with that being said, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. We're back at the Black Cave. Back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. Have my pickups here from Goodwill. Have my 3D pick, which is also a 4K combo. Have some classic comedy for you. Have an out of print Mill Creek, some Kino Lorber. Have some bangers in here. Let me get these scanned in. We'll jump right into it. Hold on. I'm going to kick it off with my one pickup from Goodwill. I'm still able to find a couple things at Goodwill despite the huge price increases they've had. But actually found a boutique label, a Kino Lorber, Veronica Guerin. Never heard of this, but I do like Cate Blanchett, and if you're familiar with the channel, I am a huge Kino Lorber fan. They're delivering on some great movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that I haven't seen or don't have a Blu-ray copy of them, or just didn't get a chance to see them, forgot about them, they've fallen through the cracks. So I love Kino Lorber, love their library of movies, so I'm hoping this will be as well as some of the ones I have in my collection. And this is I paid $6.18 for that. A little high, but still cheaper than online. So this is one pick I picked up from Goodwill. The rest of these are eBay and Amazon pickups. This I bought with I think a group of like 6 or 10 movies. They threw this in. I didn't ask for this. Haven't seen it, haven't heard of it though. But I do know Leah Thompson, I believe from Back to the Future. Do like my animation movie, so hopefully this is a good one. I didn't pay for it. They just kind of popped this in as an extra. Luis and the Aliens, and this is a distributor I don't see. IVA, or VA. IVA distribution. Luis and the Aliens. Next, based on the best-selling series Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. Not familiar with any of these actors, but I do like school comedies. Takes me back to my younger years in a different life many decades ago. You have the Blu-ray and the DVD. We'll see if the code still works. And this is a Lionsgate release. Lionsgate usually has some really nice audio of the DTS, so looking forward to watching this. Next, we have a classic Michael Douglas, Kiefer Sutherland, very hot Eva Longoria and the Centennial. This is a 20th Century Fox release. Good thriller movie though. I just watched this a few weeks ago, enjoyed this. And again, 20th Century Fox, The Sentinel. And this is dealing with, he was the bodyguard, according to the story, that saved Ronald Reagan through his assassination attempt. So, interesting story though, The Sentinel. Next, movie that I haven't seen in years. I've forgotten the plot, but you have Annette Bening, Aidan Quinn, and a younger Robert Downey Jr. in Dreams. This is a Paramount release. and Dreams. Next, for my Kino Lorber pick, Chosen Survivors. And I think I talked about this in one of the movies I watched for the week. 74 science fiction horror, B-rated science fiction horror, but entertaining movie. A great tension builder, thriller. Special effects don't hold up that well though, but it is from 1974 though. Fun movie to watch. Again, brought me back to my Saturday morning sci-fi events on television. Chosen Survivors. My out-of-print pick, very cheesy comedy though. It's very strange seeing Jean Reno do comedy, since he's kind of known for more action, gritty movies such as Professional, which is, I think, the first movie I recognized him in. Christina Applegate from Married with Children, Just Visiting. Kind of a goofy time travel movie. And this is a Mill Creek release. Now, I believe there is a Kino Lorber version of this. Both of these are out of print, so able to get this at a real decent price. I think like maybe $20 top. So glad to add this to the collection. My classic pick for the week, one of the most talented individuals, in my opinion, in Hollywood. Can sing, play the piano, amazing actor, fantastic stand-up comedian. He just did a stand-up show, I think, either the beginning of this year or last year, basically talking about his health issues. Great stand-up. I can't even say it was stand-up because there's some serious parts to it. Great performance. One-man act is probably a better term for that. This is, I believe, his first, if not one of his first, stand-up shows on HBO, straight from the foxhole. And what is this? Oh, it's just the image collection here. Oh, it's a little booklet. I'm thinking it's a poster. Duh. I have a couple. You have the Beef collection. I think I have the Pac movie there. This might be a classic. I have the Richard Pryor show. That's like it comes together. I Need Security. I think I have that one. More stand-up. Some music here. Herbie Hancock, Quincy Jones, musical legends. I need to find those. And again, my classic pick for the week, Jamie Foxx, Straight Out the Foxhole, image release. And my 3D pick, I've seen this for a while, just never picked it up. I love Ang Lee from Life of Pi. He outdid himself with the visuals, utilized the 3D probably better than most movies that have done 3D. It's a visually stunning movie. I've read the reviews on this, so I've heard this is also visually stunning, especially, like I said, the fireworks scene. So love to see that in 3D. I've never heard anyone really discuss this movie though, but it does have some names in it. Kristen Stewart, comedian Chris Tucker, Vin Diesel, Steve Martin. So interested to see this. It kind of has to be in the mood to watch kind of melodramatic movies like this. So, but I am quite intrigued on what this might look like. It's a TriStar release. It's 4K again, the 3D 4K Blu-ray. And these are my Goodwill, eBay, Amazon pickups for the week. If you're familiar with the channel, this is where I separate the art from the disc and the plastic so I can actually make room for all these movies. And one of these will probably make the shelves. Kino Lorber. But let me get these situated and I'll get you good people on your way. Hold on. I have everything scanned into my CLZ Movies app. C is in Chosen Survivors, L is in Luis and the Aliens, Z is in Z for Zachariah. Let's knock this out. I have everything laid out, ready to be put back in its proper place. As usual, I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, leaving comments. If you made this far in the video, smash a like, give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you check out my Saturday videos, my collection videos. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone, please be safe. Deuces.